horse you rode in on.
Oh!
Jeez, wow, now he's
Is that
like,
your knee or?
No,
just
the
getting
chair.
Okay.
All right, good enough though.
Okay.
And,
Scene.
all right.
Welcome to another episode of Midnight.
Okay, pause before we start up again.
Yeah, let's try that again.
Okay.
Welcome everyone to another episode of Midnight Movie Distillery. We already. Okay. Anyway, I'm one of your hosts, Logan Lynch.
I'm another host, Warwick Price.
And I'm Lon Black.
We'd like to welcome you to this episode where we will be discussing a film that somebody over here, I think, really likes. It is called
Shaun of the Dead. And it is amazing.
Do we know the director? No, don't rate it yet.
No, I can't, sorry. It is a normal.
Neutral.
It's a normal. It's a normal.
Who directed it? Do we
Film
know the
by
director?
Edgar Wright.
There we go.
Written by Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg. Loosely based on an episode of. Is this going to be a trivia question? I won't say
Not
it.
from me.
No.
Not on my side.
Nope.
Oh, well, okay. Loosely based on an episode of the TV show Spaced.
Yep.
That was also written by Simon Pegg and starred Nick Frost, and it was all about he used to like playing Resident Evil, and he's in this kind of dream scene where basically he wakes up in Resident Evil, and there's like all these zombies everywhere, and so they kind of took the nucleus of that idea and made a movie out of it.
Very good. One of the things we do is we pair, if you haven't known it by now, man, go back and watch some freaking episodes, would you?
If you're new.
We pair a whiskey, we pair a spirit, typically whiskeys though, with the movie. The last episode was an American classic, and we picked the most
To
popular
you, it was an American classic.
American.
Well, the movie was. Oh, you're right.
The
You're
bourbon.
Right.
The bourbon.
Yes,
the
sorry.
bourbon. It's,
The American classic.
The
Okay.
bourbon is an American. It's the most popular bourbon in America as of 2022. I thought it was phenomenal. I shouldn't say phenomenal. It's a good staple bourbon, not the best bourbon in the world. It's a staple bourbon. These two guys were
I
not
felt
very
like I
fond
was
of it.
drinking Staples.
Wow,
Yes,
brother.
agreed.
So I said, okay, so now we're doing a British zombie movie. What's the most popular whiskey in Britain?
Well, no, it can't be Glenfiddich because we've already done that one.
I'm sure there's different types. Of
Johnny Walker.
No,
Really?
Jack Daniels.
No way.
Yes.
What?
As of 2022, Jack Daniels is the most popular. And you know what the second most popular is? Famous Grouse, which is Scottish. At least it's a Scotch.
Never
Yeah.
even heard of it.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh.
You've never, yes,
I've
it's,
never even heard of it.
you can buy it here too, but it's Grouse. And then it was things like, I'm not kidding you, Jim Beam. It's all the English or all the American bourbons.
Really?
So
And
I've told these
So
guys.
they're getting more refined over there, is what you're saying.
They know what good whiskey is what it is.
So I told these guys before. It's like the funny thing about when you go to England, you go to a bar in England.
Oh. He's British, by the way.
I'm British, by the way.
Okay, go ahead.
British.
British. No.
Here
we're
we
not-
go
we're not
again.
doing
Here we
that.
go.
I'm not doing
We're
it.
not doing it.
I promise.
So, but the funny thing is, it's like, you know, if you're an English guy and you go to a bar in England and you want to be cool, it's like you order a Budweiser.
See, because it's the
Because
American.
it's American, and I'm
even
sure.
though it's swill.
But now, so
even
that's
though
imported.
Budweiser's swill.
That's imported over there.
It
Well,
is.
exactly.
It
Yeah,
is.
It's an
Well,
important
think about
beer.
that. Think about that. It's an import, right? So that's why maybe it says popular,
Yeah.
but it's also America is known for the bourbon,
Right.
right? Not necessarily whiskey in general, but bourbon. Scotland is known. Any whiskey that comes out of there is Scotch.
Right.
So Scotch is known globally, and American bourbon is known globally.
Well, and to that point, I mean, it's yeah, I don't know, just it's
Name a British whiskey. I looked them up, all 5 of them.
There's 5.
Well,
Wow, I didn't even
Johnny
know.
Walker, right?
Johnny Walker is a Scotch, technically.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
And it's
I
blended.
have
So that's
no
Scotland.
idea.
And we don't necessarily include Ireland as whiskey makers, but they do make
Jameson.
some whiskeys. So I couldn't include Scotland and I couldn't include Ireland because I can't go. I'm not going UK here. I'm going.
What about the Welsh? Do the Welsh have any good whiskies?
Do the Welsh have any whiskeys?
No. I actually don't know what.
Name one British whiskey.
I honestly
Okay.
don't know.
Here, that's where we go. So, even though the top 7 most popular whiskeys in not Great Britain, in Britain specifically, not the UK, Britain specifically is what I want, is American whiskeys and bourbons. It was very difficult to find an English whiskey, but I found an English whiskey.
What's this like? This is your life? It's like,
Yeah.
and here we are.
What the?
Adnams. Adnams.
Okay.
I've
Now,
never heard of that in
of
my
course
entire
you've never
life.
heard of this, but it is a
It's
single malt.
And it's handcrafted in England.
This is what I'm saying.
They put their hands all over
All
that.
over
okay.
it. So let me throw that out there just so you guys can see this.
I'll take a picture of that.
This is literally, we'll take a picture now because
Yeah.
we may end up throwing that against the wall if
Oh,
it's going to be
okay.
as bad as I think it's going to be. Now, let me explain something to you. Because it's an import here,
Oh my God. Was it like $80?
that was $70 for that
What?
bottle. Okay,
This
so
better
if this
taste
is
good.
not good, I'm burning England to the
All
ground.
right. It will be used as Molotov cocktails at some point.
So let's crack this bitch open. And it does say, I mean, you know, to the
So it's a
credit, it
single
is a
malt.
single malt. It is a 40%, so it better be smooth because it's mostly water.
Okay.
But copper distilled small batch. It does say 8 years. Is that 8 or 5?
That's a 5.
Okay. All right, 5 years in matured French oak.
Like, come
Now,
on.
let me explain something to you. Scotland only uses, in fact, to be a Scotch, it's mandated, it has to be an American oak barrel. They used French oak. How are
Is
you
this a-
guys
is this a
fond of the
twist off?
French?
We hate the fucking
There
French.
you go. Let's use their barrels then.
Sounds good.
I'm very nervous, guys.
What if this is like the best thing you've ever
Oh my God. If it's gonna be so much better than
It better be better than
Maker's
Maker's
Mark.
Mark.
Or is it weird that it smells like gin?
Oh.
That's a pretty British. I could find tons of British gin everywhere, but
Does it smell like hairspray?
do you smell anything? Does it smell like gin?
it's
Like the demon gin?
It's funny. It's coming in now.
Yeah, but very, very subtle.
Very, very faint.
It's a 40%.
Wow.
Let's,
Okay.
do we still have the other Maker's Mark around? Because Maker's Mark
Yeah, I don't smell anything.
Yeah,
'Cause
it
Maker's Mark is
takes a while, but
47.
it does.
45. Okay, so 45 versus 40. So it's going to be
Yeah, it's like a.
it's going to be smooth
Okay.
as this, but then again,
What is Adnam anyway?
that's just
just
the
the
name. Of
name?
it.
Okay.
But this is the most painfully British name underneath it.
Southwold.
Southwold.
I think it's just Southwood.
Southwold.
Southwold.
Not word. WOLD.
What?
Wold.
What?
Southwold.
What?
Like, okay, let me quick jump to this. So in
Okay.
researching the other British, because I know somebody out there is going to be, one of the other whiskeys I was looking
Cotswolds.
for was Cotswolds.
It's an area of England.
Okay, well that's where they
What
make
is
this
a
whiskey.
wold?
Yeah, in the Cotswolds.
Couldn't find that
Is
here.
that them trying to say world?
I don't know what that is.
Cotswold.
This I could find
Southwold.
here, Lakes single malt whiskey. It's a Lakes.
From the Lake District.
What am I from? I don't know.
You're not from Scotland. You'd be
No,
from
or
England.
England. But the thing is, this Lakes I could get here. It's $130 a bottle for the low end version. They have several finishes. They have, you know,
Wow.
like whiskey. They're trying to be like Scotch.
That's,
any of
that's
this be
because
a-
the quality is so high.
No, it's just the long boat trip.
And of
over.
course, the Adnams, which we do have here, Adnams, and then the other one. I love this one,
That's awesome.
English Classic. We'll show some of these pictures maybe in it, but literally it's
It's a classic.
It's Monty Python soldier with a
it's,
shield.
It's George. It's George and the Dragon.
Oh, George and the Dragon. I remember that childhood story. Is it
So it's like St. George's.
St.
Day.
George Distillery? Okay, well that now
Is
makes
that
sense.
the British version of George of the Jungle? Sorry.
Maybe.
Traditionally handcrafted in St. George, but it's English Classic. That's the name of it, is English Classic. And of course, it's too blurry to see where
it's
the
because
actual thing was brewed. But
It's because the name says it all.
I guess
It's-
so.
It's a classic.
Okay, so let's give
all you
this
gotta
bitch
do.
a try.
It's when you can't come up with another name,
Yeah,
you just
you
call
just-
yourself classic.
Classic.
Like, worked for Coke.
You're going to say you
Are you
love it
checking
just
for
because it's
floaties?
British, aren't you?
I'm going to give it a 5.
I know you will. After all I've given you
looking out for
at
his
my
brethren.
place, you're going to give it a 5.
Alright.
Okay, so
I
first
still
of all,
don't smell anything.
it's
really.
light in color.
Yes.
Having said that, a lot of the scotches
there a
that I
worm in
love
my
do
biscuit?
add color
I said they
to
add
it.
color anyway.
So I'm okay with the color. It's
I-
not appealing, but
I will say,
I can't smell
it
shit.
smells like feet.
Oh, don't say that. Oh,
And not like jackal
oh
feet.
man, no. Hold on.
See, this is another reason I was kind of hoping we'd do the movies in reverse because we'd have to try this first. But you didn't like the first whiskey, so what the
Yeah,
hell?
so it can't get any worse than
All right,
that.
all right. Let's
Here
give
we
it a
go.
shot.
Here we
Let's
go.
Okay. Can we change the name of our podcast? Can we do like milkshakes or something?
Oh god. Okay.
Now, let me explain. Before I even rate this, now I know why there's only 5 British whiskeys.
It's also like why there's not like a lot of like really good
Why they're known
Like-
for being
like
heavy
English
whiskeys.
foods.
Right. Well, right.
like rather than roast beef, Yorkshire pudding, carrot scabber.
Right.
cabbage
You
and
name
potato.
some English cuisine, everybody says spotted dick.
Yeah, well, you can get cream for that.
Oh my God. All right, we have to try it again. We have to do.
Yeah,
You have to do
I'll
2
it.
sip
I'll do
minimum.
2. I'll do 2
Logan,
sip. I'm going.
Let me see you.
Man,
See,
now with the feet, when you say feet,
I'm gonna,
I get it,
I'm
I
gonna
get
blame
the
the
feeling.
maker's mark.
Oh,
I
come
think-
on,
I think
come
it-
on.
I think it
come
was-
on.
I'm going for number
No,
2.
we rested between episodes.
We
pal.
did.
All right.
We lay down. It's like
Okay. All right. I think I'm ready.
so. Okay,
Okay, second sip. It's not as.
it's.
It's getting. It's. I don't know. What am I getting used to it?
I think you're just getting used to it.
I think I'm still hungover from our live show.
You think that's why you didn't like any of the whiskeys tonight, just because of that?
No. So
Days ago.
you're gonna probably be upset by this.
Hold on. I got to change my rating already.
Oh,
Hold on.
already.
Honestly, it is growing on me.
I think the proper way to say that is I'm getting used to it. I don't say it's growing on me. Oh, fuck, no.
Kind of like
Really?
a quarter set.
Okay. On the count of 3.
No, wait.
Oh, for crying out loud!
You trying to find the same number?
Can I borrow your one?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Are we ready?
No. Okay.
Okay.
Did you really go? No.
Ready?
Okay. Ready?
Go. All right, now we got to vocalize this. What? Are you kidding? You gave it that high of a
I
rating?
actually liked it more than Maker's.
Oh my God!
So did I.
Oh my God!
Well, you got to set it for,
You guys have no taste.
for the
I'm
audio.
not
people.
denying that. But
God!
For the audio only people, what did you rate it?
I rated it a 2.3.
I rated it a stellar 2.5.
I gave it a 1.2 because I didn't have a 1.1, and I thought it was unfair to give it a 1 because we really haven't gotten into tequilas yet. So, Jesus Christ. All right, listen. I can tell you right now, no offense to any British folk
You
here,
won't be offending me.
England does not know shit about making whiskey.
Whew.
Now,
This one did not have the burn that the
well,
Maker's
yeah,
Mark
because
did.
first of all, it's less proof.
Oh,
Right.
But it's only 5%, right?
5% double that for the actual proof, though. You're talking if
Oh,
you're
all
talking
right.
a
That's
40%,
10 to do the math.
it's an 80 proof. If it's a 45%, that's a 90 proof. That's a big
Why
difference.
don't they just say 90? Proof it.
They do, but they say it in both directions. They say it in both. Well, I don't know if England does.
Yeah, maybe they do their own. Maybe that's
Maybe
like
It's probably the metric system.
Metric.
yeah.
They do it
It's probably,
metric.
it's probably
We're in
26.3.
Oh
In
jeez.
stones. It's 26.3 stones.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, because it says 40%. So really what you're talking about is a 10% difference in alcohol content, and that is a pretty hefty difference.
Okay.
So
Look
this
at
is lower end.
It has vanilla and apricots.
What?
No, apricots.
Apricots.
Who put the ape in
First of all,
apricot?
I hate apricots.
It's the aroma. Oh, hang on. Aromas of runny honey.
Yeah.
As opposed to like
Is that
solid
a British
honey?
thing?
What?
If it was solid, it would be like big
What
chunks
the
in it.
fuck is it? Okay, all right, all right.
sure
all
the
right, all
Aromas
right.
of runny honey,
Runny-
vanilla, and apricots.
I got none of that.
None of those so far.
Smooth
Wow.
and rich.
Because
in
they
the
water it
palate.
down. No rich, but smooth. Is feet mentioned in
Oh
there?
my god.
Is toe fungus possibly on the?
Oh.
Oh, there it is.
Man.
Toe notes of toe fungus.
Okay. No, I'm
God.
I'm a little bit more of a fan of it than Maker's Mark.
I can't believe that. I swear to God.
I do think it is more enjoyable.
Yeah.
That-
I may
that
water it
boggles
down a
my
little more
mind.
just to finish it
Oh
off.
no, that's the only way I can drink this.
There
Is
you go.
watered down. But it
So-
had to be tried.
Yeah.
Well, I won't say this is the most even.
I don't know whether he's laughing because
but
he's just
listen,
in shock of
I'm
how
having a complete what's the word?
Flashback?
Meltdown.
No,
Vomit?
it's like I'm like, has my taste buds just been destroyed? Because
by Maker's Mark.
well, either
No.
no, but maybe before Maker's Mark, and that's why I rated Maker's Mark so low.
Okay.
Okay,
Because
there
it's
is something to that. There is something to that. But again, when was the last? Well, actually, I guess just this past weekend we did the other show, the live show,
Right.
and we had some good, really good bourbons then.
And we drank it all. Watched the finishing the
Oh,
bottle episode.
Yeah. I think you can tell.
If you want to see two guys who really got,
Two grown men.
really got soused. But there is a certain mention about acquired taste. However, I've been drinking all these bourbons, and I consider Maker's Mark a solid stand-up bourbon for mixing, sipping. It may not be the go-to bourbon for everything.
Mixer,
like-
I could possibly see. That's the other thing is maybe we should expand a little on
We-
some of
we
these
can,
and
we
do like
can.
a, hey, here's Maker's Mark, and then here's Maker's Mark in this
But,
drink or
but
something.
any drink, to tell what it is, you have to try it out straight
Sure,
first.
that's
Absolutely.
yeah, straight. Then
And
add
then we can
in.
mix it later, and then you'd be
Yeah.
like, but then when you mix it with Coke, then you're talking, it'd be the same as Jack Daniels or anything else.
Yeah, because
'Cause you're
the
mixing it with
sweetness is going to
Coke.
overpower everything. I get it.
So it's a little
Do you
bit
have an 8-ball with you?
of drugs. No.
Just saying mixing it with Coke.
Oh, okay.
Um,
But, and again, let me explain something. So, Maker's Mark is the #1 bourbon in America. The #1 bourbon in England is Jack Daniels. These
So we're switching
English
it up.
whiskeys did not even make the chart. So even English people
but do you think that's
don't like English whiskeys.
not to go back to our finishing the bottle from 2 episodes ago, but do you think that's because of marketing?
Do you think it's because of marketing? I mean, I think it's because people drink things.
Well,
But-
and the price of the bottle, most people are probably not going to buy here.
Right, but something tells me that this is probably a lot cheaper.
I would
in England.
guarantee that this is not $70 in London.
But it is say
well, London, they might charge $70.
so.
for
So
it,
this
but outside of
was
London.
this is
in
brewed
the airport.
in East Anglia.
Okay.
East Anglia is
Is that where they keep all the English feet?
Is
That's-
that West
all
End
the
boys?
okay, Pet Shop Boy over there. But yeah, that's what it's made from the finest East Anglian malted barley.
Where's East Anglian? Where's
Well,
Anglia?
it's obviously the other side of West Anglia.
Oh my God.
Isn't the Anglia that thing
Don't
that hangs
you
on the
know?
back of your throat?
Do you know where it's at or no?
It's like it's north of London to the.
You were born
to the
north of
east.
London.
No, wasn't I? I was born in
South?
in the south.
Oh, that's why.
where,
it's that
So
way.
side?
where the decent people are.
That's what I was going to say. I was about to say that.
But also, so it was handcrafted in a small batch copper pot. Maybe they Maybe it was like a latrine, like
Yeah. I think a
There's the
few of
copper pot.
the British people pissed in
it
it
was
first.
previously used as like
That's why it's got the yellow coloring.
a chamber pot.
Copper is the way to go with this. I think they're trying to use that as a plus, but it's because they used a copper pot.
So, what is
copper pot.
most whiskeys or bourbons?
Copper.
It's copper.
Even moonshine. You got to do it in copper if you want it to be right, because copper is the only
Wasn't
one
there-
that doesn't change the flavor as much. It doesn't.
Because the copper isn't aging it.
Correct.
It's the oak barrels.
It's the oak barrels that age it. There's no aging
So,
in
I
copper. The
didn't-
copper
I
is
don't-
just for when you distill it and you get the tannins and you get the when you ferment the mash, you ferment the mash first. Then you cook off the mash. The gases from the mash are what go up into the still, and then they cool it down to make it into a liquid again. They come out, right? The first part is called the head. You got to get rid of that because that'll make you go blind.
Never want
The
it.
body is what you want. The
Never
tail
wanna
is
get rid
going
of
to
head.
taste like the mash itself. Whatever you mashed on. What did you say?
He doesn't want to
You
get rid
never
of the
want to
head.
get rid of head.
Oh my God, we are so going to get canceled.
Buzzing.
Anyway, the point being that copper still is the only one that you can do that in. I shouldn't say the only one. That's the best material to do that in, to avoid any other flavors being added to your liquor. Now, people have done it in aluminum. I know there's some people who, I've got it still at home.
I use Tupperware.
Oh my God,
No?
no. I've got a still at home, and my still is not copper. My still is stainless steel and not aluminum, because aluminum's actually toxic, but
I think he says aluminium.
aluminium.
I say
It's not.
a-
They
aluminium.
might have used aluminium.
No, they use copper. It says it on the back.
They used copper. They did everything right,
And it's still not that great.
But don't you think it's? Do you think it's
technically.
purely? Okay, good marketing again. It's like, so you cover the entire bottle in blue,
So you can't see it.
so you can't really see the color of the liquid that's actually in it.
No, again, the color is almost insignificant because most Scotch whiskeys are colored to look appealing. I've got Scotch whiskeys at my house that have no coloring in it, and they look really yellow and sickening, and they don't look really appealing, but they taste delicious. We really got to work in some Scotch into this show because
we got to do some
Jesus
high quality
Christ.
horror movies.
How do we do that?
Something that's
I
worth
mean,
We could-
Anyway.
Maybe we could do Silent of the Lambs.
Oh, I love that.
and what whiskey would you?
No,
pair
I'm
with
just
that?
saying because that's he does Chianti,
But he does
Chianti.
wines, right? so
Right.
I
it's
know,
like
but I'm just saying you could if you don't want to do wine.
You do American Psycho.
Oh,
American
there you
Psycho.
go.
He drinks the gambit of scotches and
Yeah.
whiskeys.
There you go,
doesn't he?
see?
He's all right. Okay.
We gotta add
Well,
it to
we're
the
gonna watch
list.
that just so we can have some good scotch. All right.
All right. So let's get to the actual
Let's do
film
it. We
that
rated
we.
it.
The
Yes.
reason we tried this.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay.
We're 23 minutes in, people.
Yep.
Oh my God, I said people.
People.
Again. Go
Look,
say
I'll
people.
point it out in every episode. I'm gonna edit an episode where it's just you saying people. People.
It's kind of like when we say fuck.
People, so
Right. Yeah.
How many
It's just
times
you
to say the word people?
People. All right.
Okay.
Shaun of the Dead. Shaun of the Dead. Shaun
Of the dead. Dead.
The Dead of
the
Shaun. Okay. Yeah, we'll go here.
Okay. Wait,
Yeah.
do I have that right?
All right.
Yes, I
yeah,
do.
yeah,
Okay.
Sure. Okay.
Ready?
Gladiators ready.
Go.
Bam.
4-2, 4.
1.4?
4.1.
You got that backwards then, buddy. Oh my God, you're getting a fucking heart attack.
Sorry.
I was like, Jesus Christ.
Well, I'm trying.
Holy
There. 4.1.
I gave it a higher rating than you did.
Wow.
Well, because I'm
4.1.
trying to remember the fact that 5 is our highest.
Yeah, but it's hard. That's a hard. You know what?
Okay.
There's going to be a lot of movies that aren't the same that
Shaun
are
of
gonna all
the
rate
Dead.
5.
We are.
That there's the British stumble. That's a
Okay, Shaun of the Dead.
from Logan.
Talk to your
Okay.
1.4.
It's a 4.1. Let's get that clear. So the movie was great. It was a fun time. It's definitely something that is something you can show to kids. I feel like it's something that the gore is not over the top. At least, it's not too over the top. I mean,
I think
Way
it-
less
it-
than most
It's
movies.
very mild.
yeah.
It is, but it's got some good gore to it.
Yeah.
I mean, them tearing a guy apart when he's being pulled out the window, the homage to Dawn of the Dead and
Correct.
whatnot.
Yeah,
That was very
Yeah.
well done.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I definitely I like it. It's definitely in my. I would give it top 5-ish of rewatchability. It's one of those movies though that I feel like is it's something that you want to tell other people about, and you want them to see it because obviously it's funny, but also it does have an actual story line to it.
Yeah,
Sure,
which
sure.
some horror movies it's more the simple plot, but this was
Sure.
actually.
I will say that, first of all, everybody gave it 4+.
Right.
So clearly, we're really not far apart on this movie at all. We're sort of debating it, but
he
really
point
we're
one off?
debating it from the same point. Point one, people.
Yeah.
But bottom line is, it's still a good movie. It's still highly ranked. We're still over a 4 on this.
Yes.
So
For
that's
all of
awesome
us,
for
yeah.
everybody. But I do think it has some good gore, some good, not scary moments at all, but the storyline is good, and it's a comedy first to me. It's
Absolutely.
comedy first, incidentally a horror movie
Well, and
or a scary movie.
it's one of those movies. The rewatchability thing is 100% true. I know it's clearly not a horror movie, but Shawshank Redemption is my comparison movie in terms of I can watch Shawshank Redemption at any point.
Not that it's a horror movie though.
Well, that's what I just said. It's not a
Okay.
horror movie.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is, Shaun of the Dead is the same thing, which is
Okay.
basically, I could, if I'm at a hotel and I'm scanning through channels and
I'm getting porn if I'm in a hotel. I don't know about you, but
well, I don't stay at those kind of hotels.
Doesn't your girlfriend watch this show, Logan?
no,
All right.
nobody
But-
watches.
Hey,
Yes,
we,
yes.
we have 16 subscribers.
Yes.
We
Um,
do. I think we're up to 20 now.
Really?
I
Of course,
don't
6 of them are us.
I was gonna say yes.
on different
Our two accounts.
on
yeah.
different accounts. Anyway, but my point is, it's like I can watch this movie at any point. It can be halfway through, and I'll watch it through to the end. What I love about it is, I think it genuinely has a really good story. It's really funny, and it still has enough horror parts to it. Obviously, the whole subject matter of zombies, but it has enough horror parts to it that I think it makes it a good horror movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also feel like you could even look at it from the perspective of that it's got a love story, right? So that it brings in.
Yes.
I feel like it brings in all elements. You've got the horror, you've got the comedy, you've got a love story between both Shaun and his. Not only his mother, but also his, well, that sounded bad, but you know what I mean. Shaun and his mom, and Shaun and Liz.
Right.
So I feel like they kind of pulled all the stops to bring everybody into
But
it,
that's
right?
kind of what I mean, that it's a comedy first. It's a storyline that could be done without zombies completely. It's just that the zombies are a nice
You think
throw in the
this-
mix that throws everything off. You know, it's kind of like a...
So I know this is going to be a topic for the finishing the bottle episode, but it's. I would say the same thing that your argument of the music in Dead and Breakfast. It's I think without the zombies, bringing the zombies into the story is what makes the comedy funny. You know, and I don't think.
yeah, for most of the parts, like when they're throwing records at the zombies.
Then they're picking which record to throw.
Right,
Like,
yes.
no, I
Oh,
like
that's
that.
a classic.
Yeah.
Oh, not
That's an
Queen.
original pressing of Blue Monday.
Right.
Yeah.
But you know, I think it's. I agree that it's a comedy first, but I think part of the comedic moments are comedic because of the scary moments. You know, in it, and I like the I would say lighthearted, but that doesn't mean comedic. In other words, like I actually love the part with the stepdad in the back of the car.
Oh, the touching moment?
Yes, you know,
Okay.
it's. I thought that was cool, and yes, with the mom, you know, which she's been bitten at the end, and
Yeah.
again,
Yeah.
it's you guys, I'm sure, would say like very typically British, of like oh, I didn't want to bother anyone,
Right.
you know.
It is, but that's part of the comedy. I think they're making fun of that British antic as well.
I agree. I agree.
So I think that's it. To me, it's a comedy first. I don't even know if I'd necessarily call it a horror movie. It's a bit of a thriller. I get the horror aspect. There's some gore in it, so it's a horror movie, yes. But I look at it as a comedy. If I want to watch a good comedy, I'll watch that. If I want to watch a good horror, I'm going to turn on something that's horror.
I do agree. It's like this isn't like to the.
Logan's got something to say about that.
Well, no, just more along the lines of if you like it for the comedy, is that what makes you leave it on, so to speak, right? Like if it's on, you're going to leave it on just for the comedy, or is it for the whole thing all together?
No. So it's comedy and the soundtrack. It's like Edgar Wright does an amazing job. Like he's done it for most of his movies, where it's like the soundtrack, it just goes really well. Just like John Hughes used to do.
Yeah, sure.
Where it just the soundtrack is perfect for the moment in that movie, and to such a point where I can hear songs that are on the soundtrack to Shaun of the Dead,
right?
And I can picture the moment
in Shaun of the Dead when they were playing
in the movie.
Sure, it was pretty iconic. So you guys know about the whole story with them, and if somebody does, somebody else can tell the story about how they got the Queen music.
No.
So when they were doing that scene, they shot the scene and had the Queen music in there.
So maybe we should explain the scene we're discussing.
Oh yes, of course.
So
I guess it helps.
The scene is they're in the Winchester, and
well, the zombies have broken through the windows.
Correct.
Yeah, but at this point, it's
no.
It's before
they
that.
were started. They were just getting ready.
It's the owner of the bar, the Winchester, who
comes down.
Oh, you're right.
He's a zombie. He's like, oh.
Now, what happened though? Remind me, but I believe it's when I think his name was David goes into the back and starts flipping switches. That's what turns on the jukebox.
Correct.
Okay. So then the jukebox comes on
and made all the lights flashing on and off because he's flipping them in
and
the back.
And it starts playing the Queen song.
Yep. Which Queen song?
I
knew it.
Oh, damn it. You caught me off guard.
Having a good time.
Yes, having a good time.
Okay.
So, and while that's going on,
having a good time.
While that's going on, they start to hit because the owner of the bar comes down and he's a zombie, and they start to hit him like basically in unison with the music. So
yep.
Go ahead.
And literally, dun, 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 and they had earbuds in allegedly, or they had the music playing out there, so they would all keep in time to the music, and it turned out so great, and they're like, well, glad Queen let us do that. And they're like, what? We didn't ask them yet.
Oh, boy.
So Simon Pegg basically sent an email begging Queen
Brian May.
Specifically Brian May,
yeah,
if they could use the song. And, of course, he said absolutely. And it was a good thing he did because Queen had a massive resurgence of popularity to their albums right after the movie.
Think about, so this will be a question then. What other song might have gone in there? Like what would you like? Not what they thought they would have put in. What would you have put into that scene? That would have been kind of along the same lines. I mean, obviously the Queen one worked perfectly.
It's a good question.
But if you could pick one song to go in there,
I definitely would have said an '80s song. I definitely would have put in something that's jumpy and bouncy, like that, because that's the whole thing. The parody of that was that the song was having a good time,
right?
As they're killing some old man,
right? Well, and to the same. Different take, obviously, but the same thing like when Liz broke up with Shaun.
Oh, and the song was
and the song is the oh my God, I had it just now. The breakup song,
right? The breakup
basically.
Song. That's a good way to put it.
You know, again, just
it was Chicago, right?
Yes, yes, like perfectly placed.
Was that a
songs.
trivia question?
It was.
Oh,
it was.
Man,
that's fine.
It might still be because I'm sure
right.
we might forget.
We'll forget it. Unless we have another camera failure and we have to do another show.
Yeah.
Anyway, so do you have a song then? And do you have
what song would you put in?
For me,
no pressure.
No.
Well, actually,
pressure.
But it's
under pressure.
Actually, I was going to say Another One Bites the Dust. I don't know why.
Ooh, that would be good. Okay. See, I was going to lean.
Another One Bites the Dust.
Yeah,
exactly.
Another one.
And I was going to lean more towards kind of like what you were saying, poppy, like jump. I was thinking like Technotronic, Pump Up the Jam.
Ooh,
okay.
But don't you think actually that might be a little bit too quick though?
Not necessarily
like the jam, pump it up.
You could make it. Yeah. No, you're like, so it could be.
But also that song was the perfect song because it was bouncy and fun.
Yeah. Then they were having a good time beating the crap out of somebody. Yeah.
Right. Having a good time.
And also it's. I guess I'm just trying to think, whether the jukebox would actually have that song on it. I guess it might do, but in other words, like typically jukeboxes in pubs it's more like
have the top 40.
rock and
stuff
top
like
40
that.
stuff.
Now,
So that would've been
you
cool.
could have changed the scene around a little bit too, and even have the Queen song start playing, and then maybe they hit the guy and he bumps into it and it switches over to something funny or something, you know.
See, you absolutely could have done that.
Yeah. Like, or had it start off with something and then they like one of them kicks the
That
guy
would've
into
been-
it or
Well,
something.
that would've
And
been
it's
pretty
actually
cool.
it's funny when you think about it. It's like that's actually almost a missed opportunity, because in exactly the same way, at the beginning of the movie, when the news is when he's watching TV and he's switching channels, and really if you listen to what is being said on the news as he's switching channels, it's telling them that people are dying. And in other words,
right. The way
it's
each,
kind of jump
each
cuts.
jump cut finishes the sentence.
And so it'd actually be
Yes,
kind of funny if
I
they did
totally
that
get
as,
that.
as part of the jukebox, where it's like he's bumping into it, and it's like, another one bites the dust, or
Yeah.
yeah, and then he switches it around and he's getting a resurgence, and it's something like "We will rock you."
Right,
And it's like,
right.
I get that would have been a good. that
apparently we
would've
can only think about Queen songs.
I was just saying,
Well, that is a good
they would have
point.
been asking for money by that point. Like,
I didn't even think about that. You're right. What about it? Could have been an ABBA song. What ABBA song would you have
Dancing
put
Queen?
on? Dancing Queen would have been a good one.
It's so funny because all I can think of was Waterloo, but that's got nothing
That
to do
wouldn't
with
have worked out.
anything.
That wouldn't have worked out. But
Although
Dancing
that
Queen
would have been a good one.
Dance,
Think about it,
na-na-na.
Waterloo. I don't know exactly, but they could have had them dump alcohol on him and light him on fire or something. He was like,
Waterloo.
Okay, all
Or
right.
if there was a short guy with his arm. Sorry, that was a Napoleon joke. People.
That was a Napoleon joke or a short joke.
just
I'm
said
not
people,
sure
by the
which.
way.
Did you?
You missed out.
Oh, I won't miss it on the cuts and the edits. Not that we edit anything, but
No.
I'll see it and cut it
We'll
out.
put little tallies on there.
Cut it out.
oh, wow. Joey Gladstone reference over there.
Yeah, see? Somebody noticed. Okay. So what else do we have to talk about the movie? What did you think was the worst part of the movie? What was the part of the movie that you would have changed
Ooh.
or taken out?
Yeah, we'll let Superfan over here go first on that one.
Yes, super fan.
I got to think about that.
Even though I rated it the highest, which I still can't believe.
So, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I would go as far as say it's a broad statement to say that it's a perfect movie, but it's
Of course not.
like I like the edits. I don't think there is a wasted moment in the movie. I
Yeah.
think it's funny that the development of the relationship in quotes of David and Liz
Yeah.
gets talked about, but
Okay.
nothing really comes of it. Just in terms of
See, yeah,
What do you mean?
Not to interrupt you on that, but I feel like what he should have done is while he was getting his insides pulled out, he could have been like, "I love you, Liz," or something, just to throw it in there as like a
something, because it gets put out there as like you always loved Liz, and like, no, I haven't, but clearly everything that you see, like David is constantly defending Liz, and Shaun is he's always saying that Shaun is not good enough for her. With clearly the implication that someone else would be better for her,
him.
i.e. him. And
Right.
I also think it's weird that Lucy really doesn't make a big deal about it.
Well, she says
She
she kind of
does.
knew,
Yeah,
right?
she said
Like,
she's known all along, and she doesn't think.
but that's
it's-
where then what bothered me though was why
She's
did
come
she
to
go
terms with
after it to help him at the end? Like, was that more of like a, you know
Because
what,
I think
he was
she-
all I had, and I'm
because
just gonna
she
deal with
loved
it.
him.
Yeah,
Right.
and so she's gonna die with him, so to speak. But
I think
Ooh,
that
you
was
know what?
pretty clear
I
that
think-
his intentions and everything, because even when he went down and he tried to shoot the gun, but it was
Yes.
empty, he was going to shoot Shaun anyway.
Yeah.
Clearly defined him as a dick, and that way you didn't feel so bad when he died.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wonder, did they didn't have Liz as a zombie at the, or not, I'm sorry, not Liz, Lucy as a zombie at the end, did they? They should have. That was a missed opportunity.
No,
Because
we
she
didn't
would have
see it.
gone out there. You just see her go out. You don't actually see her
Right.
die.
That's true.
Maybe they should have shown her as like a zombie. Maybe
You're right, because they showed.
maybe Shaun goes out and sees
David.
nope, Eddie.
Okay, yeah.
Sees Eddie, and then she goes maybe into her closet or something and opens it and brings their friend out, and they put makeup on or something. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
right,
Like you
right,
could have
right.
had like
I know what you're
That
saying.
would've
he's
been
got
that
his
would've been
friend
a
and
good
she still got hers.
funny
yeah.
moment. Because they did show the co-worker teenager from the
awesome.
electronics
Yeah.
store
The one who's always on
pushing
the
a
phone.
cart
Which honestly I did not put
Right.
together until until you guys just
That
pointed
was
it out.
brilliant. I think that was good.
Yeah.
Well, and then who are the other cameos that were? Like
Coldplay.
Coldplay was in there.
Yeah.
Coldplay.
Because
Coldplay.
oh my God, what
Chris
guy?
Martin.
Well, Chris Martin knows Shaun.
I almost said it
I
right,
thought-
but that's not right. Simon Pegg.
Simon
I was
Pegg,
going to say, I
thank
thought Simon Pegg, that was his favorite
Yeah.
band or something at the
you.
time.
No. Well, I
They're
mean,
just friends.
they live in London. I'm sure it's like they mix in the same
Yeah,
circles.
London's a small town.
Right. There's only like 6 people there, maybe 7.
Sick people.
Six
people.
6.
But yeah, and I don't know that there's anything in this movie that I would cut out.
How about you?
I would. The only thing I would maybe cut out, because it was an hour and 44 minutes long. I prefer my horror movies about an hour 30.
God damn
Okay.
those Brits and their
Extra
extra 10
40
minutes.
minutes. Well, it's because of the talking. It just takes longer.
I honestly feel like
Because our words are longer.
Did they actually need Peter, the roommate? Like that didn't
Oh,
really add much to the
absolutely.
story.
I
Like,
think it did.
or like not as much of him. Like,
He was the angry one that rejected
but they could have
Sean's
cut out about
friend.
5
Right.
minutes. Like
So
they,
that-
yeah.
you know,
it
I
just-
think-
But at the end of the day, it really wasn't that much of the story.
True.
correct. He wasn't really in there that much. Oh, granted,
But-
he was
but
naked
it-
and running around.
But what it did was it reinforced Liz's point that Ed was a loser. You know,
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They could have shortened that to like 30 seconds and just been like, he comes home, the door's open again, slams it, and like, you're a loser, blah, 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 goes upstairs. But instead, it was like they kind of brought him on, you know, and like I think at one point he says, yeah, well, remember when we did this, this, and this? He's like, yeah, 5 years ago.
Right,
Like
right,
it's like,
right.
okay, we get it. You guys were friends at some point. I don't know. I felt like that could have been rushed a little bit
that
more.
could have saved you your 14 minutes.
No, but we're getting there.
Well-
no, I don't. But beyond that, I think everything else was okay. They could have maybe the scene with the. I'm nitpicking here, so this is not like oh my god, this thing sucks. Or anything. It's just like maybe with the stepdad, like he. I loved how they had the tension of him walking up to him while he's faced away from him and stuff like that.
Right,
He's about
right,
to hit
right.
him, and then he comes. But then I felt like they kind of, they should have maybe had him die a little sooner.
Yeah.
But-
Well, I don't know. They needed that emotional moment.
Yes.
They needed that touching.
No, the emotional moment needed to be in there, but
Yeah.
like they drove around for a little while and then he eventually dies. But
Yeah.
But I mean, I think I get what you're
and
saying.
they should have had that was another opportunity they had to make this a little better. They could have Ed could have made a sharp right hand turn and what's his name Shaun could have just opened the door and kicked him out and then they kept going. You know what I mean? Like that type of thing. I didn't like that they stopped and got out and left him in there. It was like
But then I think Barbara would have
Barbara.
flipped out.
I-
Coming to get you, Barbara.
yeah.
I do
But
think
at least she wouldn't have been able to, right? She would have seen that he was a zombie and that's the reason he kicked him out. Like, I mean, he went
I do think that part where they all got out of the car and abandoned the car idea just because
he was
the
in
dad
there.
was
Yeah,
in there.
one person was in there.
One person was
It's
in there. They
could
could have
you-
just opened his door and
door-
kicked him out that side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they would have still had the car.
And I
could have
get
still
that
escaped,
there's the
but-
child locks, but still.
Yeah,
like,
but they could have done that. They could have gotten out
It's
instead
a
of going
Jaguar.
around to the side for
Yeah,
Ed
who
or for
wouldn't
everybody
want
else to get out.
Now, in reality, it's a Jaguar. Probably.
Oh god, he said Jaguar.
It's just
Jaguar.
Jaguar. But it's like probably because it's like around the next corner and the car would have broken down
That's true. Yeah.
or overheated.
Yeah.
That would have been. What would have been funny is if Eddie would have crashed it just to get into a Hummer or something. You know what I mean? Like, oh well, this one's he passes by it and then he sees it and crashes or something, and then we got to get into that one or
But
something.
he's clearly and you obviously you can pick up on it. It's like he's clearly someone that doesn't have a car, hence he had to take
Yes. to
Simon's
the
car.
roommate's
Peter.
car.
Peter.
Peter's car,
Peter's
yeah.
car.
Peter's car. But it's he sees the Jag and most English kids, Jags just have that kind of they're just freaking cool.
Yeah.
It's like I like honestly today if someone were to say you can have an XJ6 from the 1980s, I'd be like, oh my god, yeah, bring it on.
Is it because of the engine? Because
No,
to me
'cause
the
someone's
car did
giving you
not
a
look
free
that
fucking
great.
car.
No,
I'd
no,
take a
it's
free
just
car
it's
any
like
day.
it's a Jag. I mean it's
Yeah.
there's
They
So it's
did
more
look
the
great.
name
They
than
did look
anything for
great.
you.
I think they still look nice. I think they still look nice.
Oh my god, like I
See,
love
I'm a Lamborghini guy. If I
Oh,
ever
well-
got a car.
Well, that's
Yes,
a different
it's a different
echelon
kind
of
of-
car.
I know,
but
We're
I'm
talking
not a car
luxury
guy.
car versus a supercar.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's all. He's like, yeah.
But yeah, it's I love Jags.
So, do we have any last words on this? Or is there anything else anybody wanted to cover? We didn't get to talk about why we gave it what we did, but I mean, we kind of did. But
It's
we're all right in.
It's
we're only
a
couple
great
points
movie.
away.
Also, do we want to say that, and unless it's a trivia question, which I'll...
Oh, trivia, that's what we gotta do. Let's
I
hit trivia.
won't know. This is the first movie in the Cornetto trilogy.
Yes, let's talk about that. I don't think everybody knows
the
what
what
that is.
trilogy?
There you go. The
Do tell.
Cornetto
The
trilogy.
Cornetto trilogy.
Did you
What the hell's a
notice?
cornetto?
Did you notice when Shaun said, "I'm going to go to the store"? Did you want anything?
He says,
He says
grab me a
cornetto.
cornetto.
Okay.
So cornetto...
That was not one of my questions, by the way. but go
Okay.
ahead.
Okay.
So cornetto, it's like a drumstick
Yeah, ice cream.
over here. Yeah, but like a drumstick in terms of shape. Ice cream.
And it's-
the drumstick.
Yeah.
The cone.
But it's an ice cream cone.
Okay.
Wrapped in
Um,
paper. You unwrap the paper and you eat the
Okay.
ice cream.
And cornettos, it's just like everyone in England
a brand.
knows. Yeah, cornettos. But anyway, so this was the first movie that Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg and Nick Frost did together. And then after this, they did Hot Fuzz,
Okay. I know that.
the cop movie, not a horror movie in any way, shape, or form, but that was the second
Still
movie.
very funny.
And then the final movie they did was World's End, and that was the last movie in the Cornetto.
But why
trilogy.
was one of the Cornetto trilogies? You didn't explain what they did in the second movie then. What
Correct,
did they do
yeah.
differently in the second movie?
I've seen Hot Fuzz, but
He had a different flavor of Cornetto in that movie.
Oh, I didn't know
There
that.
you go. So that character, Frost's character,
Right.
in every movie he has a Cornetto ice cream, but it's a different flavor in each one. So that makes it the trilogy. He had the vanilla in Shaun of the Dead. I believe he had the strawberry in
Love the strawberry.
in
It's
the
awesome.
hot fuzz or super fuzz or,
Hot Fuzz.
or itchy fuzz, and then. Well, I don't know what flavor he had in the last one, but it
That's
was a
what
different
we used the
flavor
Cornetto
each
for.
time. That's-
interesting. Interesting. Okay. I've seen Hot
So there
Fuzz,
you
but
go.
I have not seen World's End, so
There you go.
I will have to.
World's End is undoubtedly the weakest
Yes.
of the three.
Yeah.
Nothing is as good as Shaun of the Dead. Hot Fuzz is really good.
It's funny.
It definitely has lots of really funny moments.
Generally a forgettable movie, though.
World's End is not bad. It just isn't. It's a forgettable movie.
Okay.
Lon did it perfectly.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Trivia?
trivia.
Trivia time. All right, so we're gonna go with kind of something you probably didn't really think about. No.
Okay. I like that.
Ready?
I like stuff I don't think
Are we
about.
ready? Okay.
Be everything.
What's the tagline of the movie?
The tagline. Oh,
Tagline.
okay. I guess
So
we'll
you have Shaun of the Dead, and then
Right.
usually a tagline goes with
Another one bites the dust.
it. Close.
Part one of the Cornetto trilogy. No, I can't think of it. Why can't I think of it?
It's just one of those days when you're feeling a little dead. Is the tagline.
Well, that's why I didn't
Yeah,
remember
you
that.
would never
I don't even
Sucked.
vaguely remember.
That was horrible.
Okay. Question. We'll do like maybe 2 or
Sure,
3 or
sure,
4.
sure, sure.
Maybe
Because
4.
we're going to have down in
Yes.
the description, we'll have a link to more trivia
Yes.
that
you
anybody can
fill
answer.
out.
You can check it out.
Give us an
fill it out.
email. Fill it out.
Yep.
Maybe
Or if you
maybe-
have some more, write them down below. Let's
Yeah.
hear what you've got to say. Let me hear
Definitely let us know.
trivia that we've missed, which
So-
I'm sure there's plenty.
Okay. Shaun says, "David, kill the queen." What is David's response?
Shaun said, "David, kill the queen."
Which I'm thinking meant unplug the jukebox.
Mhm.
Yes. I'm sure it's something very.
One does not simply kill the queen. No.
Oh, actually, that's pretty good.
right? Thank you.
I like
Thank
that
you very
one.
much. It's a Sean B.
Does he do
reference.
this as he's saying it? One.
Yeah. You just simply no.
It's
Anyway.
a very simple one, but you give
No.
up. You give up. What? What?
Oh, got it.
Well, that's almost anticlimactic.
There you go. Well,
That's David for you.
that's what she
It's
said.
not funny.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
All right. We got a
There we
good
go.
one here.
All right, let's go.
What is the name of the place that Shaun works at?
It's fictional, right? But
Yeah.
it's,
It's like
we talked
Murray's
about this before.
or
too.
it's some guy's name.
Martin. It was a Martin.
No, you're just trying to. Was it Black Martin?
Yes, maybe
Free
it could
plug
be
there.
the
Was it-
Black Martin store.
Was it Ghoulish Mortals?
220.
Well, now I think that's a
Wait,
stretch. No, I think we're stretching.
It is 4E Electric.
Oh, that's right.
4E Electric. Okay.
Which is stupid. It's a silly
Which-
name.
I've got a good one that's a tough one that you guys are never
Okay.
going to get.
Oh, because that one was easy.
Yeah, we've gotten all of them so far.
What is the movie poster behind the couch in Shaun's apartment?
Oh, we did cover this one. It was
There's two of them, and I'll give you either one if you can get. I'll give you one if you get either of them.
right.
Oh, they were made up, right?
Yes.
I remember talking about this.
It's not like big tittied hookers, right?
No, we're going to
No.
review that movie though.
Yes.
Eventually, we'll get to that movie. Japanese horror sex weekend.
Horror sex?
Horror weekend.
He said sex. I heard sex.
Sex
I
is-
said
we
weekend.
heard we
You
were
gotta
gonna
lay
have
off
We'll
the
play
arm nams.
rewind that. What did I say?
Hurry, we're going to have a Japanese horror weekend.
That's
Sex
right.
horror.
Japanese horror weekend, not horror. Horror. God, the mind, dirty, filthy.
Yes.
What was
Okay, so the answer, we'll
Yes.
get to that, is Ninjas on the Road.
Oh, that's right.
And then there
Okay.
was the other one was Cabbage Boy.
Cabbage.
It's fun. Okay, okay.
Of course.
I think you'll get this one. This is a fun one. Where is the phone book from and what year?
It's like North London, 2003.
That's probably what I would go
Very,
with.
very
Something.
close.
It's a 2000 something.
London North.
Yeah.
And do you have a month that you want to guess?
May.
May.
February.
Like I said,
February of 03.
But I got 03 right?
03, yes.
Yeah.
You did get
see?
the 03.
There you go.
So I'll give you
That's
that
what
one.
counts.
Yes.
The year.
All right.
I mean,
Ooh.
who cares about the month?
Nobody cares about the month.
Okay, we got another tough one, but kind of fun.
Okay.
It's going to pick your brain.
All right.
The scene where Shaun is supposed to be setting up a date night for him and Liz at a restaurant.
Seafood restaurant.
Seafood restaurant. The name of the restaurant is Fulci Restaurants, which is a nice
Played
throwback.
in
Yep.
Lucio Fulci.
It has a slogan for the restaurant. Do you know the slogan?
Well, it's got to be a Fulci reference because, I mean, gotta
Very,
be like-
very brief. It's a very brief portion, shot. But
okay.
Is
So
it- is it
going through all the
something
Fulci
fishy?
movies in my head,
close, sort of.
and it's going to have something to do with. He did a couple movies with the word red in it. He did, of course, he did a zombie movie called Zombie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I got a little nod from him on that one. It has to do with
Has
that.
nothing
No.
to do with that.
Oh,
but okay. I'm just letting you
All right,
think
all
that
right,
one out. Just-
okay.
All right. If you give up, it's
Yeah.
okay. The place that does all the fish.
Oh! Well, I said
It
fish.
caught my attention because I was like, why did it just say all the fish? And then I'm like, oh my god, I
The
laughed.
place
Yeah.
that does all the fish. See, that's funny.
Yes,
That's funny.
It was, and the cool thing is that it's little things like that throughout the movie. That
Don't
yeah.
tell me you like it now.
I genuinely.
It's not horrible, but
It's
it's
not-
not.
Oh no! It's
It's
horrible.
no Zachariah Harris. I'll
Well,
tell you that.
Thank God for that, I guess. But wow.
Gosh.
All right.
Okay. One
Okay,
last
one
one.
last one. Here we go. Trivia.
All right. This is a good one. How many times did Shaun and Ed hit the first zombies they encounter? So the two people in the backyard. They hit them total. You can give me the
34
total amount or individual.
34 times.
I
He's
say
saying
33.
Very close. Each hit 15 times, so
So
a total
30.
of 30. All right.
All right.
They were only in
Close,
sync for
really
like
close.
just a little bit.
Yeah.
of it, but-
We're,
It was either going to be that or February 2003.
right. March,
all you
May,
need to know.
February.
All right, we're gonna.
All right.
we're gonna end it on that one.
Okay.
Because we're approaching our time limit there. But the rest, I've got a whole bunch that I'll put up a Google form that you can fill out and test your knowledge on it.
Great.
Probably recommend either recently watching the movie or try it out first, as you know, without, just to see where you're at.
And I was like, what you shouldn't be doing is looking at the quiz and then watching the movie just to get the answer.
You could, but you're gonna have to pause and write stuff down. That's how tough some of these questions are. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which
I
I
would say
like
if
to
you
do.
want to really just have fun with it, just read it and see if you can get it.
Read it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the question, the
Oh,
Google
sorry.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Read
See
the
if you
movie.
just
Read the script. Find it
the
online.
Read the trivia questions and see if you can get it. Test yourself. If you cheat, then cheat.
Yeah.
What
Like,
are we gonna do?
We just
What
did
are
it for
we
fun
gonna stop
and
you?
we got
Two?
none.
No, we
No,
got.
you got
we
one and a half.
You get the phone book
North London
question.
in
North
2003.
London. Yeah, that
There's
counts.
some points there.
That's a C. That's a solid C.
Some of those will be in there, so you might get some freebies.
Ooh.
Just saying.
We helped you out. Don't forget it.
Yeah.
So don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that
Hit the little bell.
because it really helps us out. If you like what we're doing, or if you don't like what we're doing,
Let us
as
know.
Logan says a lot, then tell us.
Yeah.
Tell us what you think. If you have movie suggestions, whatever, tell us. Let us know.
Yep. If there's a drink that you'd like us to review, if there's a drink that you have your thought of what it would pair well with as a horror movie, let us know that
We're
as
all
well.
ears.
That would be pretty cool if you gave us a movie and a pairing with it that you'd like to see us do.
Or other way around, if you have an idea for just a drink and you want us to find something to
Oh, I
pair it
like
with.
that too.
Yes.
See, that sounds like fun to me.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would love to do that.
Just not this stuff and
I like
Zachariah
having fun.
Harris.
No, this-
if we've already done it, don't send
This
that
doesn't.
in.
This doesn't make the cut of favorite. Nothing wrong with Great Britain.
If
in
you're a
general.
distributor
Oh.
of alcoholic beverages, and this is one of the ones you distribute, we apologize. But
we make no
This is our
apologies.
opinion.
If
This
We
is our
make
opinion.
no
there are
apologies.
any
Make it
other
better.
bourbons, whiskeys, scotches that you do distribute, send them our way,
And
we will review them and pair them with a horror movie.
we will honestly review them.
Yes.
Let's be sure. So if you give us some bad liquor, we'll be very appreciative, but we will call it out for being bad.
We were not paid a single cent to review Adnams.
No, in
Ad
fact,
nams.
we had to pay them to get that damn
Yeah.
imported bottle from
Damn
Great
those English people.
fucking Britain. Okay. So thank you very much for joining us, and please join us again in our next episode.
See you again next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right.